Hey, welcome to 3 Times the Cancerian Blues. I am your host, Hippie, and this is a podcast where we talk about trauma, where we talk about love, where we talk about healing, we talk about light, and I try and give insight and advice to women who are just like me. So let's dive right into this week's episode.
Off my vices, the nicest. Off this wicked, get lifted. He asked me why I'm never sober. Catch me constantly sipping. Cause I've been dealing with some demons you won't understand. The way my mind processes thoughts, it's like it never ends. And I've been feeling like...
Today we are going to be reading some submissions off our drop form. So you are able to submit anonymously via our drop form. The links are in all of our bios, but it will be attached to this video as well, just so everyone knows. It is 100% anonymous. I can't see a name, an IP, or anything. If you want it to be a non-anonymous or something like that, then you would just put more specific information in it. I guess I'm trying to say you would just put your name, not more specific information. Put your name, or you can also email us, and I will put the email somewhere on the screen or in the description. That way you guys are able to reach out to us via email. Yeah, so let's dive into some of these submissions on this job form. So this one says, so I've been talking to this guy for about 2 months, and he is so sweet, like such a gentleman. He's thoughtful, respectful, great with my kids, and super patient with me, considering he knows everything I went through with my ex. Red flag number 1, OMG. Okay, so on Valentine's Day, he surprised me with this date night. He paid my cousin to watch my kids. We went back to his place, cooked together, and just vibed. I had so much fun. Then things got a little spicy. His head was amazing. He was touching all on me and talking to me, so I was ready. But then when it came time to fuck, yup, you guessed it, his dick. While he was on top in missionary, it kept slipping out because he kind of has a little gut. And I'm not the skinniest either. And so he couldn't keep it in, so we tried it from the back. He was able to keep it in, but it still wasn't it at the fuck all. So now I'm so confused because I was really kind of seeing a future with him, but I also see good dick in my future too. I'm screaming. Please offer some advice. My best friend thinks I'm being petty because love isn't all about sex. Alrighty. So let's dissect this. Let's get into this. So red flag number 1, I say red flag because you are never supposed to let your current partner know what your ex-partner put you through. And it's kind of hard because, when you're dating, we're asking questions like, oh, why are you single? Or what are you looking for? What are you into? Da, da. But you kind of have to skip over what the last nigga put you through. Because how do I put it? Like, a nigga want to see like how far he can fucking go with you. Like, not every nigga have, and it's sad to say, but not every nigga have good or great intentions with you. And sometimes people are just in our life for a season and we just vibing the fuck out. So it's no reason that for you to know that this nigga beat my ass and tie me to the back of his truck and drag me across the state. Like, it's no reason for you to know everything my ex put me through. I mean, you can know bits and pieces and stuff, but it's like you have to find a way to articulate your previous situations, to make it not sound bad, not sound good, but like just like a median. So it's like I'm single cause X, Y, and Z, but never like, let a motherfucker know, oh, you've been through so much trauma, you've been through this, you've been through that. Nah. We keep that for our parents, we keep that for our aunties, uncles. We keep that for our homegirls. We keep those conversations for the table. Paying your cousin to watch his kids, amazing. Love that. So, really, right now, the problem is the sex. We wasn't fucking with the sex. The head was good, but the sex wasn't. it's a lot of factors that play into this situation, and it is too funny. It's a lot of factors that play into this situation, but your best friend is absolutely right. At the end of the day, love isn't all about sex, and sex is something that can be taught. A lot of characteristics that men come with like built in that are already there, like some of the characteristics you're saying he has, like he's thoughtful, respectful, great with the kids, super patient. Those are things that take years and years and years and years and years to be taught. Sex is something that absolutely can be taught, and I'm a firm believer that you cannot make a decision unless you have slept with someone at least 2 times. So you do have to give it another go if the first time was bad, because he could have been excited. It could have you were excited, it was he was underestimating what that thing was hitting for. Like, you just never know. So you definitely have to, it's 2. The magic number with sex is 2. If you's fucking with it or you fucking with him, do it again. And then if it's still horrible after the fact, talk to him. Tell him, like, hey, like, this is going great. Everything's going great, but we gotta do something about this bedroom situation. Like, don't say it like that. Say it more sweeter, more respectful. Like, coach him into it. Try and get him to like use toys and stuff in the bedroom. You can even like, like just sweet talk to him. But you can also ask him, like, hey, what was over the other night? Like, I was expecting a lot more. Like, it's okay to be verbal with people. Like, you can absolutely be verbal with people. Absolutely be verbal with people. Okay, so I'm going to the next submission. This one says, I have a lot of trauma that I want to get rid of. What bothers me the most is not one. I think it was supposed to be like 1 and 2, but they put 2 and 2. So I'm trying to like articulate over that. But it says, 1, I have a lot of trauma that I would like to get, that I want to get rid of. 2, what bothers me the most is my mom not being there for me, not showing me what it's like to experience that motherly love. Just glad, just glad my kids get to. Another is being raped when I was 5. My condolences. I'm so sorry to hear that. When I was 5, I always used to see the guy standing outside of AMPM asking people for money, of course, but every time I saw him, I had negative thoughts. Would cry and keep it pushing. These 2 things are affecting me a lot. And I know that I'm strong, and I know that I'm not giving up. Do you have any advice? I'd rather talk to you anonymously than seek professional help. They be trying to get us black folk. First and foremost, I'm so sorry to hear that you went through that at such a young age. Secondly, it's absolutely nothing wrong with seeking professional help. Sometimes we do need professional intervention. That's really like a bad stigma that we have cultural wise. And you know what I mean when I say cultural wise. We don't think that it's okay to go to counseling or therapy, or there's a stigma surrounding going to counseling or therapy. And it's like, whether we want to be real with ourselves or not, a lot of us are batshit fucking crazy. Like, keep it a buck. A lot of us are batshit crazy. There's a lot of definitions to crazy, and there's a lot of characteristics to crazy. A lot of us are crazy, and majority of the times, I can honestly say it's trauma based craziness. And you can't heal trauma overnight. You absolutely cannot heal trauma overnight. I would say try and stay away from the AMPM where you were seeing him or you have seen him at, if possible. The situation with your mother, I honestly would say that I wholeheartedly understand the situation with your mom. I have been there firsthand. My mom didn't have a good relationship with her mom, so it was super hard for her to show us love. And a lot of times she would just tell us, like, I can't show you guys much love because I did not receive much love growing up. I did not learn how to love. My mom was really, really hard on us growing up, so it's extremely hard for me to show you guys love. And honestly, me and my mom used to fight really bad. We used to get into it really bad. And not even recently, probably about 3 years ago, my mom had a really bad stroke, and now she is unable to walk or talk. And I'm super realistic with myself. And even though I had, these trauma experiences with my mom, I have bad experiences surrounding my relationship with my mom, whether it was towards me or my siblings or not, my mom was an extremely kind, independent, and hardworking woman. Um, Always kept, multiple jobs, always kept a little money, always made some shit happen. We was kids. We was walking around. We had gold chains and rings, and always had some fresh earrings. I mean, fresh earrings, some fresh shoes, some nice earrings. My mom kept us up, and and so to see her in the state that she is now is absolutely devastating. So to anybody who has trauma surrounding their situation with their mom, or stemmed from their situation with their mom, I heavily, 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 heavily suggest you just sit down and try and talk to your mom. And even if you tried or you cannot talk to your mom, I would do I would spend some time self-reflecting, and just chop it up to the way she was raised. Don't miss out on that time with your mom. People are people, our mothers are people, and we have to realize that our mothers were a lot of the times doing the best they can. And we won't understand that until we get a little bit older, or we get kids to be a little bit older. We get our kids to be a little bit older, and we kind of start feeling how our parents felt. But our parents were doing the best they could. I can honestly say my mom was doing the best that she could with what she was given, or what she was taught, or how she was brought up. um and that's not something that they could break overnight, because again, it's a stigma in the community about going to therapy and about going to counseling. For me and myself and my kids, I changed that. I went to counseling. I've been to therapy, and I will go back to therapy every time I need to go to therapy, um, for however long I need to go to therapy. Because as a mother, my top priority is to, as much as I can, because again, we are human, we are people, make sure that my children never feel the way that I felt coming up with a mom like that. Um, yeah, so that will be for that one. Um, I definitely suggest, if you don't meditate already or something similar to that, find something that you can do in absolute silence that soothes your soul, or that speaks to your soul. Do things that you wanted to do as a child with your mother, do it with your children, especially your daughters. Um, you'll feel a little piece of yourself heal every time. So I'm trying to find ways to be more sexual. Like, I just don't see the excitement. And baby, that's fine. Like, you do not have to be sexual. Sex is not everything. And I hate that our generation has chopped it up to being everything. You have people that are sexual, and you have people that are not sexual. Like, it's no big deal. It's nothing wrong with you. It may come later in your life. Sex is seasonal. It has its peaks, it has its downfall. You have your times where you don't want to have sex at all, and you have your times where you want to every fucking day. You hear me? And that's fine. And a lot of people, I won't say a lot of people, but sex is stemmed to your creativity. So the more creative you are, the more you more likely you are to be extremely sexual, or like sexually fluid, or like, I don't know how, like the best word for it, like, but like open, like more open with your sex and your sexuality, and your preferences and stuff. But if you're not, that's fine. That's okay. If you want to meet a dude or a girl, and you got to wait 3 to 6 months before you even intellectually, like, in tune with them to even want to, like, that's cool. one thing about it is like whatever you want to do is cool. It's no pressure. Like the world we live in and the society that we live in, it make it like everything is pressure. It's no pressure. Because even if you're losing out on partners or people because you don't want to be super sexual with them, baby, that means them people ain't for you at all. So let them come and go and not get no not, let them come and go as they please and not get no. And you still be all right at the end of the day. And I wouldn't even say like explore your kinks and your fetishes, but if you have to, do find what you like and stand on it. I'm gonna just give a shout out to Jordan because we already talked about this, but she put in a anonymous on the job form and says she don't want to be anonymous. She got some shit to say. Shout out to Jordan, y'all. Jordan's a Cancer. I'm gonna end up having to do an interview with her, but I just want to give her a little shout out for that. Okay, let's read this one. It says, okay, this boy been on me for the longest time and I never paid him no mind. Well, he called me on one of them bored ass nights and I messaged him back on IG. We texted for 3 days and he asked to see me. So I dropped the location and he drive an hour and a half with traffic to come see me after work. He cool, but like we was talking and he was telling me about his past relationships and how his ex cheated on him and he took her back and she kept cheating. So now he has trust issues. He said something like, say you went to night school, I would make up a whole scenario in my head and think you be fucking on some nigga while you at school. So my question is, would you consider this a red flag and enough of a reason to stop fucking with somebody? Absolutely. When it come down to the red flags are completely biased. However you feel you should stop fucking with somebody, do that. The only advice I have is to do it silently though. Do not tell that man why you stopped fucking with him or why you're walking away or why you don't want to talk to him. Because it's only gonna help him mask and suit up better for the next bitch. Now, analyzing the situation, if you really want to analyze it, I would want to know like how long ago did him and his ex break up? How long were they together? Because with women feel the repercussions of a breakup or ending a relationship almost immediately. Men, it takes them some time. I'm talking 3 to 6 months, something like that, before they start like, oh man, maybe I fucked up or I missed this bitch a little bit. Da, da, da. Like it take time for it to set in with men than it do for it to set in with women. So he could just be at his little 3. He could be in that time frame where he is. And don't quote me, y'all, because I didn't get these stats from nowhere. I'm just telling y'all life experiences. So don't try to like, oh, Hippie said no. I'm just, you know what I'm saying. You get where I'm going with it. He sound like he delusional. And he absolutely, I mean, when you think about it, it's like, how can you convince me to believe that you didn't make these same scenarios up with your ex? Like, I'm supposed to believe that you didn't make this shit up that you just told me about your ex because she went out or she went to night school. I'm supposed to believe that. If you do choose to fuck with him, I'm pro keeping it a buck with yourself. So you notice this red flag now. You know it's here. So if some wild shit happen congruent with this red flag or surrounding this red flag, you have no reason to be upset, hurt, none of that. Because you already peeped out this red flag. Just proceed with caution if you do decide to continue. Yeah, I'm dancing to no air right. Like it's like, I mean, not no air, no music right now. It's just trying to vibe out. We're gonna do one last one. Hey girl, so I've been with my man for 5 years and I know he cheats on me and every time I catch him, I leave. But like the last 2 to 3 times I've seen something, it's been the same female that he's texting and meeting up with. That's the worst. And the past time he's cheated, it was always different girls, so it didn't feel as bad. And I know that sounds dumb. You don't sound dumb at all. But he would just block them and move on. Sounds all too familiar. Oh my God. Sounds all too familiar. But now that is the same girl, I feel like he really liked the bitch. Understood? Absolutely. But I don't know how to handle this. Because of our past, I feel like if I leave, we gonna end up back together and he just gonna keep cheating on me with her. So nothing is going to change. I'm so confused and want to leave, but I can't deny that I do love him. So I know it's gonna be hard. Can you give me some advice? All right, so let's dissect this. 5 years, absolutely too long. When you left the first time, you should have stayed gone. And now, and I can't even say that, but probably up to the third time, like you just kept giving chance after chance after chances. So yes, I do agree with you when you saying that you feel like y'all just gonna get back together. He feel like that too. um 5 years, that's an absolute long time to continue going through the same cycle with somebody, and you don't mention or not if you don't have a ring, or are y'all planning on, like what's actually going on in the situation. um with a situation like this, you just, it's not your fault. Not to say that it's your fault, but the last 2 3 times I've seen something, it's been the same female, but it used to be different females. That different females a couple times then blocked, that's something within him. That's something he has, like, within him that he has to handle. That's some type of addiction, like a sexual addiction, or mommy issues is my favorite shit to say, because a lot of times, even when men do stuff like this, it be, I wouldn't say a certain category of women, but a certain type of women that they are doing or having situations like this with, where they're meeting them on dating apps, they're fucking them, 1 to 2 times and carrying on. But 9 out of 10, I say 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, those women that they're doing that to is repeating the same cycle with other dudes. So that in itself is a dangerous situation for you, because now you have to try and ask yourself or figure out, oh, are y'all using condoms? Are you using condoms with every last one of them though? Doubt it. Highly doubt it. Um, but you are not wrong to feel like he does like the girl that he's doing this continuously with. Um, I can't tell you to leave. That's not my place to tell you to leave. And I would probably never tell a woman to leave a man that they love, or that brings them any type of comfort, finance, anything. However, you are not going to want to leave until you had enough. When you had enough, that's when you won't want to leave. But my best advice to you is, when you do have enough, leave silently. Like, this would be a communication that you would just have to cut all ties, all communication, all everything. And I just pray y'all don't have any children together. Um, Children make everything more complicated, especially when you're trying to leave a motherfucker. Like, oh my God. And I gotta leave you and co-parent with you too. I'm just being honest, but there's no way to handle it. You are constantly seeing this going on. There's nothing to handle. The only thing you need to handle is figuring out if you're gonna leave or not. And if you're not gonna leave, baby, stop going through that man's phone and stop causing a big ass charade every time you find out he cheating. If you're not gonna leave, if you're not gonna put your foot down and actually walk away from the situation, you gotta let that man just be. But if you are going to leave, Start putting your ducks in a row. Don't ever just get up and leave from a situation. Put your ducks in a row. Get you a house or an apartment. Set yourself up. Put some money aside. Start moving little bits and pieces of money. Like, set yourself up aside from this man before just upping and leaving this man. Because nothing's worse than leaving a motherfucker and being out here and having nothing and then feeling like you need a motherfucker and that's why you go back. Leave with motion. That's my best advice if you're going to leave. If you're not going to leave, save yourself the headache and stop going through that man's phone and stuff. But yeah, so that's all the submissions that I'm going to read for this evening because it is pretty late. And that's my fault for starting late and doing this half tired. But I'm gonna make sure all the links is dropped. Check the description for all our social medias. Follow us on all social medias. Subscribe to us on YouTube and drop y'all stories down in the jotform so we can keep this going. We'll probably do jotform submissions like one Monday a month or something like that. We drop every Monday at 10 p.m. So be there or be square. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.